Basic principle of forensic chemistry is designed to provide a clear and a concise understanding of forensic chemistry. It provides the fundamental knowledge required for a rewarding journey into the field of forensic chemistry. One of which example was the principle of analysis. The basic principle of forensic science hold relevance when accuracy is maintained during investigation. The principle of analysis lays that the quality of analysis would be better by collection of the correct sample and its correct preservation in the prescribed manner.
Physical evidence is the most important in a criminal investigation for several reasons. Physical evidence can provide proof that the suspect was presented at the crime scene. For example, a suspect fingerprints, DNA, or footprints found at the crime scene can be established a direct link between the suspect and the crime. DNA evidence found at the crime scenes can be matched to a suspect, providing conclusive evidence of their involvement in the crime. Physical evidence can help identify the perpetrator of a crime.
For today's video, I will be discussing the other types of physical evidence. Number 1, hair. Hair is picked up at a crime scene and used as contributing biological evidence in a case. This can be helpful in determining the perpetrator of a crime and in providing more information about what actually took place. Number 2, footprints refers to the imprints left by a person walking. They play a very crucial role in a forensic analysis of a crime scene. It helps to identify all the individuals present at the commission of a crime. Number 3, soils. Samples may also contain unusual features such as fossils or debris from human habitation and or industrial operation, paint, droplets, cinders, chemicals, or fibers. These features or debris, if sufficiently varied and unique, can be valuable in individualizing a specimen. And number 4, blood evidence isn't just collection of weapons, but can also be collected off the floor or other surfaces in a crime scene. This blood is also tested to determine if the blood came from the victim or the suspect. Besides testing, investigators use blood stains patterns to help determine if a crime was committed. That's all. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Angel Pindon B.C.to Bravo. Today, we will discuss about how to retrieve physical evidence. The process for retrieving physical evidence can vary depending on the type of evidence and the context in which it was found. Here are some general steps to consider. Secure the area if the evidence is at the crime scene. The first step is to secure the area to prevent contaminations of the evidence. It includes cordoning of the area, limiting access to the scene, and assigning guards to watch over the evidence until it can be collected. Document the evidence. It is important to document the evidence before collecting it. Collect the evidence. The process for collecting evidence will depend on the type of evidence. For example, DNA samples may require swabbing a surface, while firearms may need to be carefully packaged and transported to a laboratory. That's all. Thank you.
So, how to retrieve a physical evidence? So, first and foremost, yes, we have photograph. It is important to take photo to the whole crime scene, and we also have the wearing your PPE or the personal protective equipment. So, we also have label and package the evidence. Each piece of evidence should be labeled with unique identifier and package separately to avoid contamination or damage during transportation. So another, we have the chain of custody. It is important to maintain a clear chain of custody for the evidence, which means documenting who has had access to the evidence all the time. So at all times. So this is critical for ensuring that the evidence is admissible in the court. So transport the evidence. Also, the evidence should be transported to a secure location such as a laboratory or evidence locker for further analysis or the storage. So it is important to note, always remember that the process for the retrieving physical evidence can be complex and may require the assistance of the trained professionals such as crime scene investigators or forensic scientists.
The scientific evidence. So, number one, DNA. So, DNA profiling is the process of determining an individual's deoxyribonucleic acid characteristics. DNA analysis intended to identify a species rather than an individual and called DNA barcoding. Number two, evidence. So, evidence of the fingerprint is the field of forensic expertise related the inference of the identity of source from the examination of all friction right skin, namely of finger, the palms and toes, the soles, and hair marks. Number three, hair sample. Hair sample are one of the most important resources in forensic analysis of the crime scenes, often providing valuable information that can be helped to lead in the identification of the suspect or victim. That's all.
Voice recognition, also called speaker recognition or voice authentication, applies analysis of a person's voice to verify their identity. Airways and soft tissue cavities, as well as the shape and movement of the mouth and jaw, influence voice patterns to create a unique voice print. Now, gunshot residue test detection of GSR has two primary objectives. Number one, determining if an individual fired or handled a recently discharged firearm or if a surface was in close proximity to a weapon during discharge. And number two, analyzing the pattern of GSR for the purpose of determining the muzzle to target distance. That's all. Thank you.
So today I'm going to discuss the development of scientific crime laboratory in the Philippines. On February 14, 1821, massacre occurred in Chicago. Then a group of public-minded individuals was responsible for the establishment of the scientific crime laboratory in that place. In the historical annals of the police science. Also on March 31, 1876, creation of Medicos Titulares by virtue of Royal Decree number 188 of Spain. For every province, a forensic physician was assigned to perform public sanitary duties and at the same time provide medico-legal aid to the administration of justice. September 13, 1987, establishment of Laboratorio Municipal de Manila. The function of the laboratory was to make analysis not only for food, water, and others, from standpoint of the public health. In 1894, Laboratorio Medico Legal was created. 1895, Antonio Luna established the clinical laboratory where some original works in the chemistry were done. And lastly, during October 14, 1924, through the passage of Act Number 3043 by the Philippine legislature, the same Department of Legal Medicine became a branch of Department of Justice, and at the same time, an integral part of the University of the Philippines.